having established its high-performance and sub-brand in 2015, and followed up with some impressive concept cars. Hyundai has unveiled the first production vehicle to be released under the N banner. With the i30N, the Korean automaker says it wants to bring exhilarating driving pleasure to the masses, and judging by the specs it isn't kidding. Hyundai got the N logo from the chicane, the ultimate corner on the Nürburgring racetrack, where the company has honed the i30N at its new development center with the help of Albert Biermann, the senior engineer Hyundai poached from BMW's M division. The car maker says its goal was to create a car that's fun to drive with three notes: corner rascal, everyday sports car, and racetrack capability. Those are supported by technologies in the i30N that improve its handling, power, and performance, as promised by a concept shown last year. On the exterior, the Hyundai i30N model is similar to other i30 hatchbacks introduced last year. There are some marked exterior differences, though, between the standard i30, the new i30 Fastback, and the i30N model. The front and rear bumpers are more aggressive, the rear spoiler is more pronounced, and the wheel arches are larger in the i30N. The front headlight bezels are in black and the rear has a triangular third brake light and a double muffler exhaust. Keen eyes will also note some fresh air inlets ahead of the front wheels for brake cooling, while an improved air curtain behind the grille enhances air intake performance and aerodynamics. Side sills along the edges of the car and the outside mirrors are painted glossy black as part of the i30N's sport look. The exterior's more aggressive and sport-focused look is enhanced by an exclusive high-performance color range for the i30N model. These include a performance blue from Hyundai's World Rallycross (WRC) team that is showcased on all of Hyundai's N models. Other colors available for the i30N include clean slate, polar white, Micron gray, engine red, and phantom black. Inside the car, an N-specific steering wheel starts the differences between the i30N and the standard i30. A checkered flag button next to the steering wheel puts the car into N mode for a performance jolt. Above that button is a dedicated rev-matching button for shifting. The N logo appears throughout the interior as well. High-performance sports seats with increased bolstering and powerful lumbar support are also part of the i30N's interior changes. Exclusive to the car, these seats have extendable seat cushions for both the driver and front passenger. Combinations of suede, leather, or cloth are available for those seats. The changes that we are most interested in, however, occur under the Hyundai i30N's hood and bodywork. Those three aforementioned three notes come into play with the changes found underneath the i30 skin for this N model. Those begin with the engine. The i30N has a 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder that outputs 250 picoseconds, 247 horsepower, 184 kilowatts, and 353 newton-meters, 260 pounds-ft of torque. With this engine and its 6-speed manual transmission in front-wheel drive, the i30N has a 0 to 100 km per hour, 0 to 62 mph, time of 6.4 seconds and a top speed of 250 km per hour, 155 mph. That's the base engine. The upgraded engine and the performance package boosts the 2.0 liters output to 275 picoseconds, 271 horsepower, 202 kilowatts, and the same 353 newton-meters thanks to an improved turbocharger. The front-wheel drive 6-speed manual is also the same. This engine, however, pushes the i30N to 100 km per hour in 6.1 seconds, but at the same top speed. The N Performance package includes 19-inch Pirelli P0 high-performance tires as standard equipment, along with front and brake calipers and larger, 18-inch up front, 17-inch in the rear, discs. An electronic limited slip differential and variable exhaust valve system are also features of the performance package. Extra power without extra control means little, though. To that end, Hyundai improved the i30's handling characteristics with several additions to the chassis and steering. A motor-driven rack and pinion system adjusts steering response as speed increases, improving driver control. This can be controlled through the i30N's performance settings via drive mode selection. The design of the steering is meant to accommodate both everyday driving and track day cup tires in performance handling situations. Aiding that is launch control for the engine's torque output to 8 starts from a standstill. With the clutch disengaged and the electronic stability control, ESC, off, launch control allows first gear to be engaged immediately after full throttle acceleration to launch the car forward. Rev matching is also a part of the i30N package. Engaged via a toggle button next to the steering wheel, this system automatically blips the throttle to prevent compression lock-up on aggressive downshifts, something drivers would otherwise have to do with a manual heel and toe change. An electronically controlled suspension and stability control are also part of the i30N's makeup. Damping force is controlled electronically to improve stability and handling. A solenoid valve creates immediate damping changes and can be adjusted with a button push for different driving needs. ESC uses this, as well as braking and other factors, to control the car's pitch during cornering. This can be turned off during track runs to ensure maximum driver control. The performance package for the Hyundai i30N adds an electronic limited slip differential on the front axle, which allows more torque to be sent to the wheel with most grip. That means drivers will be able to get on the power earlier on the way out of tight corners without fear of wasteful wheel spin, especially in poor conditions. Another inclusion in the performance package is a variable valve exhaust system. This changes the exhaust sounds through active control of the exhaust valve. The larger the valve opening, the more exhaust sound there will be. Several settings on the twin-outlet active exhaust are available. For those i30N drivers who prefer a more sportier sound than the little 4-cylinder can produce, Hyundai is providing an electronic sound generator, ESG. This produces engine sounds within the car through sound generators in the body panel, cabin, and windscreen. The Hyundai i30N is coming to European markets by the end of 2017.
Unfortunately for many fans, that means the new model is bigger, though it's hardly oversized or cumbersome, and it also benefits from the flexible interior space inherent in the BMW-based front-wheel drive platform it's built on. That gives it a handy advantage against premium competitors from Mercedes-Benz and Audi that scrimp on space to deliver style, whilst maintaining that unmistakably mini charm that attracts buyers to the brand. There's a Countryman for just about everyone, starting with the entry-level Cooper and Cooper D twins and moving up through the performance range that includes the Cooper S, Cooper SD, and John Cooper Works. That entry-level tag applied to the Cooper D is a little misleading though, with a strong list of standard features to help the Cooper D justify its premium positioning compared to mainstream competitors from the likes of Mazda or Nissan. Under the bonnet, the Cooper D keeps things frugal with a 2.0-liter turbo diesel engine, but isn't handicapped by a lack of power with 110 kilowatts and 330 Newton-meters, proving more than enough to keep things lively. The Countryman's interior provides plenty of retro styling touches in its circular design, but is entirely modern to use, with a full range of modern conveniences and tech-friendly features integrated into it. Mini's clever infotainment interface, upgraded with a larger 8.8-inch screen on this particular car, takes its cues from the closely related BMW iDrive system, and although it lacks the latest generation of smartphone mirroring, it is comprehensive enough to take over most of those functions anyway. Interior space has also scored a massive upgrade compared to the previous generation. Overall, the new Countryman is 20 centimeters longer than before, and interior space benefits the most. There's more room front and especially in the rear, with a sliding rear seat to balance passenger and cargo space if need be. Young families will appreciate the added space. Loading little ones into car seats has been made easier thanks to the added rear room and larger door openings, but as your family grows into teens, the Countryman may hit its limits, particularly if you're raising a future Boomers or Opels player. The boot also grows by 100 liters compared to the old Countryman. It might still be a squeeze for big or bulky items, but overall trips to your favorite flat-pack furniture store, or long weekends away will pack into the boot with less jamming, cramming, and cursing. From our short time with the car, the presentation of the interior seems impressive. The available two-tone color scheme, there's plenty to pick from, gives an upmarket impression. The glossy black interior details look smart, and the soft touch surfaces on the dash and doors impart a premium feel. Design details stick to Mini tradition, although anyone who ever owned an original Mini will be hard-pressed to recognize much of the Countryman's interior. That retro reliance means some features, like the toggle switches in the roof and center stack, are a bit clunky to operate, but the look is at least distinct from the monotony of most modern interiors. The Cooper D Countryman is powered by an earnest little engine, rated at 110 kilowatts and 330 Newton-meters from a 2.0-liter four-cylinder turbo diesel. Here's the thing though, unless you were to drive it back-to-back, it feels no less exciting to drive than the more powerful and expensive Cooper SD. In fact, unless you absolutely had to have the Cooper SD's all-wheel drive, or are planning on running your car against a stopwatch at each set of traffic lights, it might be wise to save the almost $8,000 step up to the Cooper SD and take a trip through the extensive options list instead. If times are all important, the Cooper D Countryman runs from 0 to 100 km per hour in 8.8 seconds. With plenty of torque available down low, the Cooper D doesn't feel under-engined in any way, trundling to the shops or commuting to work, and on the open road the eager diesel engine sips fuel, while also providing robust overtaking. Refinement levels are high. There's little in the way of engine noise until you really crack the whip, when noise is well managed. But as is so often the case with European cars, Australia's coarsely coated roads can create some tire roar at times. Is the Cooper D a sporty steer? Well, honestly no. It drives nicely, feeling more like a hatch than an SUV through bends. Although there's plenty of torque, there's no sense of willingness for a spirited drive. The Countryman does get suspension comfort right though, be it navigating low-speed bumps and lumps on city streets, or corrugated rural roads. The Cooper D kept its composure, and more importantly kept from shaking up occupants with a firmish ride, helping provide a feeling of solid road holding. On test, fuel consumption wasn't as stellar as Mini's factory 4.4 L/100 km claim suggests, but city-centric driving kept figures up. A more balanced mix of city and country driving would likely even things out. Realistically, buyers planning regular weekend escapes to the country are also ideally suited to the Cooper D. Urban-only users will find the petrol Cooper Countryman a better fit to city driving, with longer high-speed drives required to keep the Cooper D's particulate filter healthy.